discretion is advised.
Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 106. We are in patch 6.2.4. Tonight we have a lot of news. There's a lot of things that have happened this week in World of Warcraft. We are going to be talking about something that happened in France regarding possible free things when it comes to going to see Warcraft and purchasing a ticket. It is Children's Week, so we are going to be talking about what you need for that as far as the what a long, strange trip it's been. We're going to be talking about some of the first signs of things we've seen for the Legion Pathfinder, as well as Priest Order Hall coverage. So we do have a lot to talk about, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In the World of Warcraft trade chat, troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the PWNCAST podcast. These are their story.
Guess I have to unmute these guys now, huh? Unfortunately.
Was being good too.
Can't deal with your wig right now, so we're just gonna pretend
it's fabulous.
I can't.
It's awesome.
There are many things that are the description here, and that fabulous is definitely not on the list of things for the description. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, I did bring the Riders to Rohan with me, I think. I did bring the DK who made a petition to change his Army of the Dead to females for his own sick pleasure.
Nice. I dig it.
Are you sure they're females?
That's probably not. We don't.
Which bathroom can they use?
We don't want to offend anybody here, so we're just gonna.
It's 2016. They can use any bathroom they want.
That's right. That's right.
By the way, there is a reason for this.
My gun identifies as a toaster, so it's totally legal to take it anywhere because it identifies as a toaster.
But there's a reason for the hair and the hat. It's priest lore. I'm Anduin.
Okay. Is Anduin that blonde?
Yes.
Oh, that's awkward. Well, alrighty then. Well, we're glad you're here and you've made it. We can't really see your face because you're super close up to your camera, so maybe you want to... Yeah, we want to see your... Yeah, but we're glad you're
just ready for his close-up.
I am.
Yeah. I did also bring the monk... the monk who thought empowered chi was a type of Viagra, Jim.
I'm long, I'm strong, I'm down to... Never mind.
Friction?
Wow.
That was what was coming
Friction
next,
on,
right?
huh?
See? I know things, guys. I know things. Not
Does
many.
it look like we stressing? I don't know.
But we flexing.
That's just...
Thanks for the intro.
Gonna transition on from that awkwardness. I did also bring the priest whose own glyph of confession caused him to profess his undying man crush on Lycan's secret.
Yes! I've expressed that many times to Lycan, so I guess I turn it on all the time.
I can't take credit for any of these intros because it was Aja. None of this creative genius was me. I've not had the mental bandwidth for any type of creativity because I've had a lot going on, but this was all Aja. So admin Aja,
I dig it.
She does all the things and keeps me honest, and she did a really superior job here. So hats off to Aja. Make sure you guys give her the kudos because that was really good. All of those were very fitting. We do have a lot to talk about. I'm going to preface this week's episode by saying I really hope we get through it. My little brother's girlfriend is in pre-labor. We've got contractions happening. Belle already went downstairs and ripped through the entire bedroom because none of the baby stuff was put together. Made Dominic put down the freaking Xbox controller, and I'm like, hi, you're about to be a dad. Let's do some things. So Mama Bear...
I'm on blast.
Mama Bear full... I guess, I mean, he's technically kind of like my son a little bit because I raised him, so I don't know if it's mama or grandma or aunt or what's happening.
It's all of the above.
All the above, so I can't have my niece born into an environment of what's
But
going
the show
on.
must go on, right?
Yeah, so hopefully we don't get interrupted and we get through because we have a lot going on for the show. But let's get right into some of the news. So France has reported, now I'm going to use the word allegedly, right? We're going to go with allegedly here,
Yes.
that supposedly you get some items for purchasing a movie ticket. A fan site, a French fan site, Mammy Twink? Mammy Twink reported that there were several in-game rewards that were received for purchasing a ticket. 4 transmogrifications inspired by the film, which I'm sure you guys all seen Wowhead's coverage on the Warcraft-inspired transmog stuff that they have, the shield, some weapons and stuff like that. 1 month of free game time, and all Warcraft expansions up to Warlords of Draenor. Supposedly the code will be emailed in late May. The movie opens May 25th in France, which obviously is quite a bit earlier because U.S. doesn't get it till June 10th. So I guess this will be kept active until August 1st. Now, we did hear rumblings of this prior, so I don't know if this is somebody trolling based off those rumblings or if this is actually valid. So that's why I said allegedly. There's been no blue tweet, no forum post, nothing confirmed officially by Blizzard to say that this is in fact a thing. So...
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
Anything can happen. I mean,
it'd be a great way to bring more people
really
to WoW.
awesome.
Yeah. So, I think, hey, really get down with your.
I love freebies too. So.
Yeah. I think it'd be good. I mean, they're not losing anything by offering free WoW times. They don't have those subscribers anyway. So at the end of the day, they're not losing any money. At the end, they just be spending 30 days of having more stress on their server to potentially have people that'll be hooked, right? Because that's the idea. You get a friend or family member, you get them to play for a few levels, and then boom, the addiction is there, and everybody is super addicted to WoW, and then they can't put it down. So it is feasible. I think that would be pretty legit if they did do that. If they didn't,
well, World of Warcraft just sent out a lot of emails the past couple weeks in regards to getting people back into the servers. I have 2 friends, like real life friends, that got them, and so I've been playing with them today. And yeah, it was a free 90 boost, and we were kind of going at it. So I don't know how many more of those they sent out, but I mean, they're doing everything they can to get those subscribe rates back up. So why not?
Yeah, in World of Warcraft, actually, they tweeted this, but they just said, we're really excited for the movie. And then that's all they said. They never went on further to explain what these items were. But, I mean, I kind of like the shield and the sword, though.
Yes,
I mean, anytime
I agree.
you have the opportunity to wield a sword, I was going to say a shield, I think that's definitely something interesting. Did anybody else hear the pop in their ear, or was that just me?
That must have been just you.
Got it, just me.
I heard that one.
We're not going to make this weird, guys. Don't make this weird. We don't have to make this any weirder than it already is. So, interesting. We will have more developments. If Blizzard does confirm, you know how we do here at PWNCAST, we do not work with hearsay and allegedly. O.J. Simpson, allegedly, right? So, we don't deal with those. Yeah, we don't deal with those kind of things here. We deal with what we know from Blizzard because that's the law. So, that's pretty much that there. I guess since I'm forced to, in some form or fashion, have to talk with this Nostalrius stuff, I'm going to give the news as it's been reported because that's about it. I'm not going to go into discussion. We've already talked about this. We went to heavy talkings on episode 104 with Asmongold. I am so over this topic as a means of discussion in the community. I'm just going to move on slowly, but I am going to give you guys the news. Blizzard did respond publicly regarding the server, their reasons for taking down the server, which I think were all completely obvious. They did have a meeting last week with the runners of that server before it was shut down. They did say some news to come. I think we could probably logically assume here the pristine server that they did mention in that post is probably likely going to be ran by these guys if that's the case. I think that's awesome. That's great. Kudos for making it legal and not stealing content. I think that's awesome. PWNCAST gives it a hearty thumbs up if that's the case. And if it's not the case, I mean, whatever came out of it, at least Blizzard's acknowledged it really because the community gave them no choice because everybody threw tantrums. So with that being said, they did take notice. I think it's awesome. Yay.
Yay.
That's the official PWNCAST. See my private Facebook for how I really feel about the subject.
Yeah, true.
I actually have an official response right here from your Facebook. It says, I'm just joking.
Yeah, there's been some rantings on the private Facebook, but it's my private life, and that just is, what I do in my private life, and if I cross-dress is my own business, so, that wig, I can't.
I love it.
I
You know how
dig it.
celebrities read mean tweets? One day we should just pick our favorite Sam posts. Today on Sam Posts on Facebook. Today she says...
I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I have a really bad headache, guys, so if I seem a little bit off normally than I usually, I'm kind of off anyway. I think we can all agree on that.
Yes, we can.
There's definitely
all three
no
of
normal
them.
here. But
All three of these guys said they have headaches.
My migraine's been all day, and I literally was like, I was talking to a friend earlier, and I'm like, I just want to Hulk smash my desk. It hurts so hard. And he's like, just do it. Hi, remember that one time you were supposed to talk me down from the ledge? And then he's like, oh, a ledge, jump. Like, thanks. Thanks, appreciate that. So that's the news on that. We will follow the developments because obviously we do want to see what they're doing with it, even though we don't feel like discussing it for days on end because there's only so much you can discuss a topic before we're really beating a dead horse here. But we will follow it, and pending the outcome, we'll make sure that we do talk about that and all the good things there. Another controversial subject is going to be the Legion Pathfinder. The funny thing is, when I was looking on the forums, you guys know I browse the forums, try to see, what's going on in the community, people's gripes, what we're talking about. Everybody's like, oh my God, flying again. Here we go, right? Lore even said it on the forums. Yep. Here we go again. The Pathfinder in Legion is not new. We knew this. They said this. Several threads stated. No flying at the beginning of the expansion. This is not news. However, they did give you access to knowing that Pathfinder was going to be a thing. So it's not forever. They're not saying you can never fly in Legion. They're saying similar to what we did in Warlords of Draenor. In fact, it's an exact replica of what we did in Warlords of Draenor. You're going to be able to fly after you acquired it. No matter what you agree or disagree with, and those that feel entitled to have flying and all those said arguments that we've had over the last year, the reality is it's happening, guys. Let's embrace it. Let's move on. With that, whether you love it or you hate it, I wanted to give you
part of the game.
It's part of the game, and I wanted to give you a breakdown as to what it's going to require because they did release the first parts of it. Wowhead did data mine that. So it is the Broken Isles Pathfinder. Part 1 is the achievement that's going to give you the first step towards being able to get it, and you're also going to get increased mount speed. So you're getting a 2-for-1 here. They're not just saying you can fly. They're also going to give you increased mount speed, which who doesn't like fast, right? I'm Ricky Bobby, right, and I like to go fast. So
you're on fire.
Yeah. So with that, Broken Isles Explore, which is basically explore all the regions of Broken Isle. This is similar to Warlords of Draenor, where you had to go explore all the Draenor stuff. Mm-hmm. Another achievement is Variety of the Spice of Life. This is complete 100 different world quests, which we haven't talked a whole lot about world quests yet because I'm barely in alpha checking it out. Once I get done with the videos I'm doing for the YouTube channel as far as the spec breakdowns and the artifact weapon previews, then I'll go into the world quests and what those mean, what those are going to entail, and how this is probably going to be a good portion of your Legion life. And you're going to have to do 100 of those, which that sounds like a lot. I'm assuming it's not like going to be, terrible painstaking.
Yeah, it should be manageable.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too awful. A glorious campaign. With this, you're going to need to complete your class order hall campaign, which for the, for the fantasy and the RP of your character, you're going to want to do that anyway, especially on your main. You might not want to do it on all of your alts, but your main for sure, you're going to want to do that. Also, Lore Master of Legion. This is going to be completing the Legion quests. And Broken Isles Diplomat, which of course is going to be the Legion rep. Yeah, you're going to have to grind out some reputations, which I did it. Wasn't that terrible. I cheated because I bought those medallions, so I'm not even going to pretend like I did like hardcore.
That's not cheating. That's efficient.
I thought it was also efficient. No, I don't ever stop for air, Sam, ever. If I stop for air, I won't get it all out. So I'm so trained, I don't even need to breathe while speaking. I wanted him to know that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
So the Pathfinder, you guys don't have any, feelings about that? You all, I think, Jim, you didn't get it, did you?
I didn't get it, and the good news for this expansion, even though, we kind of expected it, this expansion, at least it won't be such a dragged-on topic, or, I don't pay any attention to it. I know the reason why I don't have any flying is because I'm a casual, and I've been very lazy and played multiple characters. I haven't really tried
casual.
And like a try-hard casual. It's fine. I agree, and it's good for the flow of the leveling and the system as far as just like the questing and enjoying the expansion when it first comes out. So I've got no issues with it.
I don't mind it. It's not a big deal. I like seeing all the terrain and stuff that is there. Just take away mounts in general to start off with. Walk everywhere. Take it back to
Whoa.
I like being frustrated when you try to climb up a mountain that doesn't have a pathway and you continuously jump for 30 minutes. I love that.
Or you fall in a hole and you can't get out of it.
Yep, there you go.
How dare you talk
Best
about
ever.
that?
But no, look, we went through this in Warlords. We knew this was exactly coming up. And the number one reason is what they have said all along. They want people to experience the content. That's why they had no intention of putting Warlord or flying in Warlords, even though they told us otherwise. But they want you to experience the content. This is a happy medium. This is one of those instances, like on the last expansion, that we learned that Blizzard does listen to their customer base.
Right.
And the fact was that there wasn't going to be put anything there. Then they needed time to go ahead and make sure all the models were updated so they could put the flying in there. Now they're at least putting it out there at the very beginning, saying, "Look, here it is. This is what you're going to have to do. These are the steps to get out there. Go enjoy yourself."
For sure.
And
sorry, what did you say, Marilyn?
Marilyn?
Marilyn Monroe? That's what I'm going to start calling you.
Anduin.
Marilyn.
Anduin.
Monroe.
But, and now you just threw my completely through my train of thought.
Macaulay Culkin, better? Because he's blonde.
Go get
Miley
some
Cyrus.
Sit there and eat pizza.
No. Okay.
He does look like a Miley.
You're none of those things. Got it. Okay. Sinead O'Connor? No, she's
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter.
Wow.
The Biebs, maybe? A little bit of a lighter blonde Biebs?
The Aaron Carter I could go.
I think he's got... He kind of looks like Cody a little bit there. Excuse me. Hots.
I use a slave name. Everybody knows
now
it.
everybody knows his real name.
I don't want you guys ever using mine on the show. It makes me...
Well, now I have a question. Now, I know that when we dealt with this in Warlords of Draenor, they had said, so they went and they had to develop those areas that you needed to see from above, right? So it took a little bit longer for them. They were developing those areas. Now, my idea here, obviously I don't work for Blizzard, but I'm thinking that strategically this is probably really smart on their aspect as well, because then they're free to focus on the content with Legion, and they're free to really focus on what's important pre-expansion launch, right? Because they're doing they're doing quite a long event for the pre-expansion event, and we've already seen some semblance of that in alpha, which I'm not going to talk about this episode because I don't understand it. I tried to record video of it. I don't know what's going on, and I didn't want to do spoilers on the show, but I do plan on covering it for the YouTube channel. I don't understand the purpose of what's happening. I need to immerse myself a little bit more because it was kind of weirding me out. But the idea behind this is if they're able to focus less on what you see above, right, because of the flying, this does give them the opportunity to be able to make sure everything else is fully developed while buying them a little bit of time, right? People aren't going to be so focused on flying in the beginning. So then after expansion, they can deal with bugs and working on future content.
They should have that done. Both should be figured out.
No, we're expecting perfection here. But is that and do you feel like that's probably a valid line of thinking as well? If you're in there and you're trying to do project management, I would think that would also be pretty good for them as well, because then they're not focusing so much on what you're seeing when you're flying outside of the flight pass, right?
From a project management standpoint, maybe, but from a coding standpoint, I couldn't imagine them going back and having to redo all the areas to make sure everything was done. The only thing I could see them, I mean, if they wanted to do it right, which I believe is probably what they're doing, is they're going and they're probably got everything set. And everything's, already rendered the way they want it to be rendered because of flight paths and different abilities. I mean, hell, you get the feather right off one of the things, you get the thing that launches you up in the air. So you are going to see everything that's there right away.
In Draenor, they didn't have it developed. They were very honest.
Tanan was the problem they didn't have it set up in, because even I believe there are certain areas you could not access, and they didn't want you to access it. But I think everything's done, and coding. I think what they're going to be left to is, this way it gives them a chance for the PTR after the expansion is launched. I think the only thing they'll really have to work with is like crash collision and shit like that. But the one thing I know what I was going to say before, and I want to get back to it. What I was thinking is that I see a lot of people bitching on the forums too about not having content, and I agree. I'm not going to sit here and fanboy and say that Blizzard's doing no wrong. But a lot of people that are actually posting, I've actually started doing this. I says, have you got your Draenor pathfinding? And they're like, well, no. And I'm going, but there's no content for you. Well, yeah, that's right. So, I mean, there is content out there. And this is exactly what we were talking about before. We need to get into what into what is already there. And we need to actually focus on the content that's already being provided instead of trying to go out and do things. I don't think that this is an issue that's going to be long, because I think once we start getting in with with your class halls and the artifact weapons and doing all these quest lines and getting everything going, before you know it, I don't think they're going to hold off till Pathfinder till the end of the expansion. It just relax. I'm so tired of fighting over the flying issue again.
Flying's just not important in the very beginning. It's not.
No.
I don't
No.
even in Draenor. I got so used to not flying that when I go to before I got the Pathfinder and I would go back into Stormwind or do something else, I would not even have a flying mount up and would just be. I was perfectly content with taking the flight pass. Suck, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretty that up. The flight pass are awful. I know why they do that, and it's their thing, and that's fine. But literally, can I please get a freaking direct flight path? No, I don't want to take the scenic route. It's bad when you know you have a 30-minute flight path ahead of you, and you go downstairs and
You
make
go
yourself
disappear.
yeah, while you're flying. So
I do that all the time.
But if I'm really honest about an immersion type scenario, I do the length of time sometimes like it feels like I'm trekking across country, right? I do appreciate the little nuance of feeling like I have to travel really far. So from a fantasy perspective, I do appreciate those flight paths. There's times when I'm like, oh, this is like when you have to drive downtown, right? You don't really want to go because you know it's going to be a trek. It's moments like those that I remember that feeling of feeling like, oh, this is going to take me, I'm just going to set it to go and I'm going to go do stuff. I do like that feels kind of real life in nature. So I do appreciate that correlation. I don't know. I may be the only person in the world who feels that way, but
I think it's like 5% of you out there.
yeah, there's, the whole
The
1%.
1%.
Yeah. But I feel like, it's going to be all right. Calm down. At least it's not forever, guys. And you're getting increased mount speed. So I think that could be the silver lining there.
Stay off the forums or go on to a different one.
Is it
Who's going to read
mounts
about
or
people?
flying mount speed? Just
I
mount,
think it's
right?
just flying.
I think it just says increased mount speed, so I'm assuming it would probably be both. I mean, I don't know, really. I guess I should probably try to find a way to confirm that. I can't really take like seriously.
either or. I mean, still fine.
I take him more serious
No, I
now, to
can't
be
do
honest.
that
He's like, he was already kind of like a lore king, but now he just looks so,
Kingish.
loyal. Yeah. Even without the crown.
Where did you get the wig?
You really
Don't
want-
ask questions.
I'm asking
First of
on
all,
purpose.
it is real human hair.
He had
And-
surgery,
and-
remember? Duh.
Oh no, that's from the surgery. But this is actually the hair that my grandmother died in.
R.I.P.
She had cancer. And I wore it for the concert this weekend.
That's
and
very
I
morbid.
It is, but
Little
it fits
bit.
me
A really nice way to honor the grandma for sure.
exactly. I'm wearing her hair.
Very
Wow, did
priestish.
you get your hair from your father? No, it's actually my grandmother's.
Why wouldn't you bury her in that? She doesn't have any hair?
She probably had more than one.
It's not going to decompose.
You buried her with no hair? Wow. Remind me not to let you bury me because God forbid
No,
you shave
I
my
actually
head.
took it off her before they buried her.
Oh my God, I can't be a part of what's happening. This derailed, guys, and I apologize.
Terribly.
Brutum, I am wearing my dead grandmother's wig. Like I said, people ask if, did you get your hair from your father? No, it's my grandmother's.
Brigham said, did he just say your... Yes, he did say I asked that because he said it in pre-show and I was like, I need to make sure I mention that. Sometimes, guys, we're a little weird. When I say we, I mean like it.
A little?
We lost a subscriber, but we gained two, so we're still ahead of the game.
Interesting, the Stormwind Park is finally slated to be rebuilt. The official blue post from Blizzard is the hardworking citizens of Stormwind have been hard at working rebuilding the remaining destroyed section of the city. It is there that a monument of such significance will go. There's spoilers posted on Wowhead regarding that monument, but I didn't post them here because, spoilers. But if you want to check it out, Wowhead does have the images of said monument.
Can I address something with this too?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I read on the forums the other day that if they can rebuild Stormwind, why can't they rebuild Silvermoon City? Silvermoon City is completely different. The Dread Scar that goes up the middle of what do they call that? Eversong Forest?
Yes.
And Silvermoon City is completely different than what happened to Stormwind. Stormwind was destroyed by Deathwing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is basically a scar that is forever left on Azeroth.
Same thing in
From Arthas.
Vandaland. You have the corrupted and the big hole right before the...
Right, yeah,
the
it's
moons.
completely different. It is a corruption that goes up to Silvermoon City and through Silvermoon City and will never be cleansed unless you send Thrall and his almighty magic back up there, even though that may not actually work. So please don't try to compare what's going on in Silvermoon City to Stormwind.
Oh.
And people, I hear people complain, well, there's just no love for the Horde. get off of it.
For the Horde.
It is a lore reason that they cannot rebuild that park. Whether or not they lay flying in or eventually is different, but it is a lore reason why they can't rebuild it.
I seen a meme on Facebook earlier that was Theramore pre and then Theraless. I was laughing probably longer than I should have. I'm pretty sure it was on our Facebook, actually. I'm pretty sure Karma, one of our admins, I'm pretty sure she posted that. It made me laugh. Theramore, Theraless.
So wrong.
Yeah, so I mean, it's nice to see some of this stuff being rebuilt. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, sounds good. Let's do stuff. It's the bane of my existence week. It is Children's Week. So get ready to abuse your orphans, folks. Now it's Child Abuse Week is what I'm going to start calling it because it's what it feels like. You get to eat in front of your orphan. You get to take your orphan into battlegrounds. You get to do all the things that are completely inappropriate to take a child to and do in order to be able to do these set of achievements.
Belle's that nosy parent that cares about what other parents are doing with their kids. Like, look at that mother.
But I agree with spanking. I think kids need to be spanked every now and then. So I'm an old school parent. I mean, I am not an asshole in my life because when I was, there was repercussions. So
yes, there were.
Yeah. But it is Orphans Week. It is so inappropriate. The things that you have to eat in front of your orphan. They're already starving and you have to eat in front of them. Blizzard has a really weird sense of humor, but I dig it. Don't think for 1 second that I'm not amused because the wicked part of me is totally amused. It is going on from today to the 9th, so May 2nd to the 9th. You can begin these quests in all your major cities. Now, this is an important set of achievements for your What a Long Strange Trip It's Been with your Violet Proto-Drake. So I'm going to give you the meta that you're going to need to be able to complete this to be done with it. So the first one is called Home Alone. It's really easy. You're going to use your Hearthstone while your orphan is with you. So while you have your orphan out, you're going to use your Hearthstone. Bad example, eats the sweets listed below while your orphan is watching. There's a list of sweets that you need to go eat. So messed up. Give the kid some food. Aw, isn't it cute? Obtain one of the Children's Week reward pets through questing.
Oh, I know how to do that.
Daily chores. Complete 5 daily quests with your orphan out. So while your orphan's with you, you need to complete 5 of those daily quests. School of Hard Knocks, this is going to be your more slightly difficult one. You're going to take your orphan into battlegrounds and you're going to do the following. You're going to assault a tower in AV. This one should be relatively easy. Yeah. You're going to return a fallen flag in Warsong Gulch. I think this is going to be your more complicated one. So
if you're bad.
Well, you want to make sure that when you're doing this, a good way to do this is to use your RBGs, right? Get a group of friends together, go in, let them know ahead of time this is what you're doing, smash that out. If you don't have friends that want to do RBGs, get 5 of your people, go into a regular battleground, make sure you have a friend that's a flag killer, the FC killer, somebody on kill team, so that way you can click the flag and just make sure it's set up as much as you possibly can. That's going to be the only one that's going to be a little bit difficult for you. Capture the flag in Eye of the Storm should be this once again is
I think that's harder.
It might require some friends, but it's all going to be on who's the fastest clicker in a lot of instances. But utilize your RBGs, guys, and utilize the friends in your guild. Get them together, go in and do the cha-cha.
Well, I think if you're, you know how I joked around about them being bad, I understand some people probably don't PvP a lot, so I can't see those same people doing RBGs, though. I think they just need to...
Yeah, that's why you want to call in your friends. If you have a guild, call in your guild. If you have friends, if you're in Facebook groups or you're in social media where it comes to World of Warcraft, make the call out and see who's going to help you. Everybody's going to be trying to do these achievements, so trying to do it solo, you might struggle a little because you're dealing with a bunch of other people trying to do the same thing. So get a group together and then you guys go round robin. One gets it one time, one gets it another.
Is the war games? You can go in Eye of Storm for the war games, can't you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Know. I didn't mention anything about war games because I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. But I know that with Battlegrounds and RBGs you can. You also need to assault a flag in Arathi Basin. You need to make sure that your orphans are out. You need to do Hail to the King Baby, which is defeat King... Yimron? Is that?
Yimron, very good.
Yimron? I'm trying in Utgard Pinnacle with your orphan out. And then Veteran Nanny, this one, the name of it made me laugh. You need to acquire Egbert's Egg, Sleepy Willy, and Ellic Training Collar on one character. Yep. So one character, you have to do this.
3 years.
Achievement unlocked.
No. And that is not part of the meta. So you do not need that.
Why was it in my meta list then?
It should not be part of the meta. Yeah, this achievement still exists. It is just not
Oh,
required.
well then I was wrong, but on my
Yes. Whoa, can we get that in
I
an
logged
official
in game
statement?
to make sure
That
I
she was
had the
wrong?
most up-to-date meta versus looking on Wowhead or anything like that. I logged in game, so I guess I was wrong. I apologize, guys.
She admitted that she was wrong?
She
First
did.
time for
She
everything.
Said those
Really?
words.
Hey, at least somebody goes in game to make sure we have the most up-to-date information, guys. Okay.
Oh, that was a shot. That was a hidden shot, guys.
Whoa.
That was not a hidden
Shots
shot. That
fired.
was a flat-out shot.
Oh,
There was no hidden
whoa.
shot there.
I went under the knife this week. I was
It's
laid up for days.
Yeah.
You had hand surgery. It's
And
not
hair
like you
surgery.
had
Yeah.
like.
And he acquired.
Well, that's workman's comp thing. I can't play games while I'm doing this shit.
We don't pay workman's comp insurance, so unfortunately,
too.
I'm gonna have to deny your claim unless you have Aflac.
Lawyer up. Lawyer up. I'll represent you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Don't represent anything. You're hindering.
For fair working conditions for all Pwnecast people,
I know.
even the people on the website. So if you're listening to this, anyone who's helped with Pwnecast, feel free to contact me. If you're in an
Just
unsafe
realized
work.
that I don't think I linked the proper video for the priest. Yeah,
That bad?
I'm pretty
Something.
sure. I'm gonna
Backlist.
swap it out, guys. We're gonna.
That's like legging out at the end of the show bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I screwed that up, guys. I'm gonna fix it though.
Can we get that in writing too? So
Yeah,
we got
I'm
she was
gonna
wrong.
Twice.
No.
I'm going to
You're
fix
doing-
it. I'm actually going to do it right now while we're talking about it. So you're going to see our screen go off while I make that adjustment. So we are going to be talking about the priest hall. Let me stop this. This is really awful, guys. I can't believe I totally forgot that.
GG.
All right, we're back to the show. I
Okay,
swapped it
we're
out
on-
really quick. That was like boom, 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 and it was done.
Boom,
We are
boom.
going to be going through the priest hall today. I believe it's the last of all of the class halls that we have done. If you missed all the other class hall coverage,
No.
make sure it's not.
No.
We're not doing DK.
No.
So
Woman. Next week is DK.
we're not doing DK. There's no reason to do a DK haul.
Let's take a vote.
But how am I'm not going to be able to talk about the artifact weapons or the DK lore or none.
I'm so
You're
sad.
breaking my
Don't rob
heart.
this man of that he's been saving for all.
I know.
It's so
No.
sad.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on. We
I
are
tried-
doing the priest order haul. If you missed the other order hauls, you can go to the YouTube channel. I did pull Lycan's lore and layer that with the order hall so you can see all the past ones that we have covered. The priest order hall is the Netherlight Temple, and it is a Draenei style temple with wings, right? Red Bull gives you wings. It's themed around the shadow and the light. Beautiful hall. You guys are really, really going to enjoy this. Lycan has some beautiful priest lore that he has for you.
DK lore.
No, priest lore that I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go and do that now.
All right. So before life began, before even the cosmos took shape, there was light, and there was the void. Unfettered by the confines of time and space, the light swelled across all existence in the form of a boundless prismatic sea. Great torrents of living energy filtered through its mirrored depths, and their movements conjuring a symphony of joy and hope. Priests may embrace the light to heal their comrades or smite their enemies, or submit to their darker side to utilize the madness of the void. They have a dedication to the light and a dedication to helping their allies. Now, the first known masters of the light on Azeroth were the Northshire clerics. They were able to aid their allies by healing them and following them into battle. Now, although the humans are most associated by light, or with the light rather, they are by no means the only followers. Every race in Azeroth can be priest as well, except for the orcs. Now, it's speculated that possibly due to their corruption by Sargeras, but there's no confirmation on the matter. Also, as we've discussed in previous lore lessons, we know that the paladins are also able to wield the power of the light. Some of the most notable priests, though, have to be Anduin Wrynn, who I look like today, which is the crown prince of Stormwind. We have Archbishop Alonsus Fowl. He was the former head of the Northshire clerics and founder of the paladins. Velen, prophet of the Draenei. We have Tyrande Whisperin. She is the High Priestess of Elune and the wife of Malfurion Stormrage. And Sen'jin, former leader of the Darkspear Trolls. Anduin, as we know, gets a model update coming into Legion and will most likely have a greater part in the lore. This kid has seen his mother killed, his father kidnapped, his adopted, you want to call her aunt, her city destroyed, almost killed himself and deceived by Garrosh, and yet he still holds on to the ideals of peace. But how far will this peace-loving kid remain that way? Will determine. That'll be determined coming up in Legion. I have some theory on what might happen and what might become of Anduin, and it's really not pretty, but a little bit more on that later. One of the best speeches I have heard in game was this in Stormwind. It was actually given by Prince Anduin in the book The Tides of War, and sums up pretty much all of the priest's convictions. And he said, "I pray that you fight with courage and decency and honor. I pray that your weapons be guided by the justice of what you do. I urge you to remember, as you go into the heat of battle, to refuse to allow hate to enter into your heart. Keep it sanctuary, a temple to the memory of those who are tragically slain. Remember, at each moment you are fighting for justice, not genocide. Victory, not vengeance. And I know with all my being that if you go into battle with these things so firmly in your heart that no anger, no pain can shake them, we will triumph. Blessings on you, soldiers of the Alliance." And that, like I said, I think that pretty much sums up how the priests feel and their determination on how they actually carry the light with them. The priests and the paladins, we know, are known to follow the light. But what exactly is the light? And for years, it was only an essence that was permeating throughout the entire universe. It has recently come to light that the Naru and the light are actually one and the same. As we heard in the opening paragraph that was taken right from the World of Warcraft Chronicles book, as the light swelled throughout the dark beyond, or for lack of a better term, space, the light began to dim in some of the areas. With this, the void began to coalesce. Becoming more and more powerful, the void began actually to push back against the light, eventually causing massive explosions and birthing the universe into existence. This caused pieces of the light to be flung throughout the universe, causing life to be started on these new worlds. Mostly these were purely elemental beings, but others were holy beings of pure light called the Naru. They looked out over the universe and vowed to nurture all life that was being created. Now, the Naru weren't the only creature being formed looking to do good as well, though. The Titans were also created in the same manner. Their souls were the cores of these great planets, and when awoken, their sole purpose was to go out and find others like themselves. The Naru, however, took on a different path, one of nurturing and the spreading of hope. Now, the Naru first let their existence be known to the Draenei. So long ago that the Eridari, or the original name of the Draenei, had forgotten where they received it, the Altamal Crystal was an artifact that the three original rulers, and again we know them to be Archimonde, Kil'jaeden, and Velen, had used. Velen, after Sargeras promised great power to all three brothers, used this crystal to accentuate his gift of insight that he had. He had seen what the powers that were going to be bestowed upon them and prayed for guidance. A Naru by the name of Kor, I can't pronounce his name correctly, but you understand who I'm talking about, instructed Velen to take the crystal and all that followed him and flee Eridar. Velen was instructed to gather up those he trusted and head to the highest mountain on the longest day of the year. Velen and his people, unknown that he'd been betrayed by a very close friend, was about to be attacked. He had thrusted the crystal upwards, and Kure appeared to just as he had promised. He brought with him a great vessel known as Oshagun, and Velen and his people were able to escape, renaming themselves the Draenei, which means the exiled ones. Eventually, Kure became very ill, and they had landed on a planet which is now known as Draenor, and we're very familiar with that, meaning the place of exile. Now, after some major battles in Shatrath City that we're not going to get into right now, and the forming of the Aldor, the defection of the Kael'thas Sunstrider's forces known as the Scriders, and the willingness to fight Foradal, this is the Naru that we find in Shatrath, Velen came up with a plan. Sometime after the orcs had exiled them into Zangarmarsh, Velen needed to gather more to help in the battles. They took a ship from the Tempest Keep, known as the Exodar, and didn't realize that it was actually sabotaged by the Blood Elves, and they had fled, and eventually had landed onto Azeroth. Now, this is where it ties the two stories together. With that, we now know through the books, the Chronicle book that we just received, that we know that most of the story of the light is pretty much wrapped up in that. There are other connections out there, including a connection with Elune, but that is for another time, and there's a lot of people who say that the Priestess of Elune has nothing to do with the light, but I think we're going to find out in the future that they're very closely associated. Now, on to Shadow Priest and what their source of power is. Natalie Celine was a bishop from Lordaeron that had studied the workings of the orc necrolytes that came through the Dark Portal in order to better understand the fight against them. When she had died, her studies had been locked away. After she was raised as a Forsaken, she reopened her studies and continued her research. This brings us to probably a lesser-known cult throughout the Azeroth history as the Cult of the Forgotten Shadows. This is the religion of the actual Forsaken. The Church of the Holy Light, which is the holy end of the priesthood, has three tenets: respect, tenacity, and compassion. The Cult of the Forgotten Shadow does as well. Respect, tenacity, and power. When transformed into the Forsaken, former priests of the Holy Light lost their faith. They believed they were abandoned by the light and focused on a more self-centered version of their beliefs. The philosophy centers around a self-empowerment instead of an empowerment of others. It's a dark interpretation of the Holy Light's teachings, allowing angerness and bitterness to flow through them. Instead of asking for the benevolence of the light, the Forsaken Shadow forces its will on the universe to do its bidding. Being that the undead cannot wield the light, this is why the Forsaken have embraced this religion. Now, another question is also, why are other races able to be Shadow Priest? And I know I just said there that the undead cannot wield the light, and that is true. But we do have Forsaken priests and human Shadow Priests. The first question: the reason Forsaken priests can be holy priests. The Forsaken can wield the light. They are undead, but when they wield the light, they do it in an extreme danger to themselves. When channeling the light, they cause great pain when doing so. However, being very strong-willed, and this is what is actually explained to us in a blue post to fortify why priests, or the undead, or Forsaken rather, can be priests. But by doing so, they cause great pain to themselves. They are very strong-willed and are able to tolerate that pain. As for other races being Shadow Priests, there's really not a lot of information in the lore behind the reason, and I've exhausted about every avenue I can to bring you more information on it. But I am going to try to find out more in the future, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can't get because we're learning more about the Shadow Priests and their now void power, see if we can't get more information out of the devs for this. Like I said, though, we know that the Shadow Priests are going to change. Moving to more of the old gods and the void's effects on the Shadow Priests, they will now fall under the effect of insanity instead of using mana to cast their spells. The more the insanity raises, the more powerful they become. However, this power is fleeting and cannot be maintained. The void form does look badass, and its effects are going to bring the Shadow Priests back to a fearful opponent that they once were. What we are trying to understand a little bit more on the fallings of the Shadow Priests is the whole Light Naru, Dark Naru effect. We understand that the Light Naru, or the Naru, can fall under an effect of what is called the Dark Naru. A lot of times what happens is they fall under this effect when they're ill, to try to regain their strength and reform. One of the most famous of the Dark Naru is Muru. Muru was the one that the Blood Elves had taken to extract their power from it. We actually fight him in, not Tempest Keep, but the Sunwell. So as we're in the Sunwell and fighting him, after you hit him down to a certain percentage, he actually transforms into what is known before as a Void God. Now with Chronicles being out, and I don't know if it's going to be a little bit of retconning to change him back into what he may actually be now, the speculation out there is that the Light Naru, with the reverse being the Dark Naru or the Void Lords. We still have some more information that we need to find out on about that, and hopefully we'll learn more about that when it's coming in with Legion as well. Now, let's take a look at some of the artifact weapons that the priests are going to acquire, starting with the Shadow Priests. Zalatath rather, is called the Blade of the Black Empire. Was a claw that was actually formed from an old god eons ago. This weapon allows you to build on your shadowy power. I like the animations of it. It has an eyeball on it that kind of looks around and blinks every once in a while. Some say it actually has a mind of its own, harkening back to some of the older people that have carried the items before in the past, and having them actually what they thought was talking to themselves may have actually talked to the weapon. There is an on-use spell that's pretty badass called Void Torrent. This unleashes a massive shadow damage and allows your insanity to last a lot longer and not drain so fast. And watching some of the gameplay in Legion, when I say drain fast, it drains quite quickly. So this will be welcomed by anybody who is going to be a Shadow Priest. Secondly, we get the Discipline Priest, and they get Light's Wrath. Now, this weapon is said to have been created by the Scarlet Crusade as a second Ashbringer, but in the form of a staff. The staff grants you an ability called Light's Wrath, which is a coincidence, I'm sure, which unleashes a holy fire torrent on its enemy. The weapon is actually pretty nice, and I'm looking more towards this as well. I used to be a Discipline Priest myself all through Wrath of the Lich King, and I can't wait to actually pick up this artifact weapon. Finally, for Holy Priests, we get Churu, which is Beacon of the Naru. This actually looks like a Naru on a stick. No other explanation for it. From what I can gather, this was actually forged by one of the shards of Atamal. We know that it is formed by a very powerful crystal. There's really not a whole hell of a lot of information on it, but I can, at this time, can neither confirm or deny it. But if you look at the armory site and the information leads up into the case, it looks like this is actually one of the lost shards of Atamal. And like I said, we had discussed Atamal before. When he did raise it up into the air, the crystal itself was shattered into 7 pieces. We know where 4 of them are. This could be one of the lost 3 pieces that are still left. Also, from what I can see, the on-use ability is called Invoke the Naru, which allows an image of Taru to fight beside you and copy all your spells. And that's pretty much what I have on the priest lore, the lore of the light, and coincidentally the void as well. To finish, though, some tinfoil hatting. When I started doing a little bit of research for this, we've seen it all before. A powerful mage flies into the throne room of the king in raiding form. Somebody's unmuted. And as he lands and materializes, he warns the king of a powerful force that is incoming to the kingdom. The king looks reluctant, and a warning has been given. Their fate is now their own. The blonde, peace-loving prince is distraught. We watched thousands of his people die to the Burning Legion. And can he stop the advancement before he destroys everything? We could say we were talking about Arthas, but we could also be saying we're talking about Anduin Wrynn as well. We know Anduin's going to have a very big part in Legion. What parts those are, I'm not willing to say and give spoilers out on a podcast. But what's going to be neat to see is does Anduin actually go down the same route as Arthas? Or will he be able to fight back his own madness and anger that Arthas was not able to do?
He's kind of a pansy, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm speaking of him as a younger version, right? Obviously he's a king's son, so take that with a grain of salt. Somebody's got some audio feedback. I don't know if it's like a sound of a fan or a air conditioner or something's weird. Maybe it's just me.
With everything that we've seen, though, in Anduin, yes, he was a little crybaby, little sniveling kid when we first met him. Like I said, he's gone through the loss of his mother, his father being kidnapped, being deceived by Onyxia, being,
Maybe that'll make a man out of him then.
Yeah, watching Garrosh.
That's a tough life.
Yeah.
If you've not read the Tides of War book, the Tides of War book is phenomenal because it actually talks about Anduin, and then it shows him going up to Garrosh and trying to make reason with Garrosh.
Somebody has a lot of feedback.
Yeah, one of you
I think
two.
it's David. No, I've muted myself a few times. I think it's...
So we see Garrosh. I see Garrosh and Anduin talk, and we see them going back and forth, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to change his mind, but of course we see him deceived in the end. We also see this kid and about every one of his bones broken in his entire body in the Pandaren process. So it's going to be neat because I think he's going to have to grow up very quickly, and I think he's already done so a lot right now. And we can actually see him going to the dark side as well, because if you notice, at one point, the little dwarf in Pandaland was trying to get him to go back with them, and he said, no, I think I'm going to stay here, and actually uses mind control on that dwarf. I can't remember. I think Sully. Uses mind control on Sully and makes Sully say, oh, yeah, you know what, Anduin, you're right. Stay here as long as you want. So we already see him going down that dark path. How far he'll go is yet to be seen, though.
Right.
Hookers and blow is probably...
No.
It's where a lot of rich kids hang out, guys.
Nothing wrong with hookers and blow.
I'm not turning it down. I've never said no. As Remedies would say, $20 is $20.
Nope.
Just kidding. That was excellent, Lauren. See, you were worried you weren't going to have enough for that video, and I had to actually shut it off early because the video ran out while you were getting into your tinfoil hat, which is a Burger King hat instead of tinfoil.
Yes.
This is not a Burger King.
I know, it's a Loot Crate thing,
Respect that king when you...
Exactly.
That was excellent.
I'm the future king of Stormwind.
Good job, Lycan.
You are the future
Next
king
week,
of something.
just let everybody know, next week, DK lore with the class hall.
That's not been sanctioned.
Let's let the people speak, okay? Leave a comment, message Bell directly. Go to the PWNCAST group. Do you want to hear Lycan talk DK next week against Bell's will?
But the thing is I would need to do a video. We've already seen the DK haul. Okay, fine.
We talked about warlocks. We talked about monks. We've talked about priests. No DK.
It's only fair.
The only reason we did the lore on those is because they had videos. What am I going to do with Ebonhold? Here's your beautiful Ebonhold you've had since Wrath. Cool.
Well, I think the imagery that Lycan can paint with his words would be enough to just let him have 10.
Fine. I'm going to let him have it, okay?
That will be a 20-minute video.
As long as you... No, it will not. As long as you...
Let's give him the whole show.
Let's just make it
I'll
all
host.
about DKs then.
I'll host.
Negative Ghost Rider, that pattern is full.
Like in 2016.
So now we get to the professional portion of the show. We do have Jimma Banks and his wonderful, wonderful pet battle segment. What do you have for us today, good sir?
Really?
Do you know you're muted?
Got him. Just joking.
What a dick.
I was waiting for no one bit on my line there. You know what? So it's like the companion madness and fun doesn't stop. Another segment from Jimma Banks brought to you by Warcraft Pet Battles YouTube channel. Yeah. So what we have now is 6 new companion pets added to the Legion build, right? 6 new ones. There was some new Legion stuff. We've got the Autumnall Spriteling, the River Calf, Cornelius, which is like the Molten Corgi. I mean, the first 3 that I mentioned were reskins, of course, but Cornelius looks pretty cool. Hopefully, I know a lot of these pets get reskinned, but sometimes the abilities are changed up slightly where they're effective pets. Sometimes they're just duplicated and they're useless and they just go to your collection. So I named 3 so far. Firebat Pup, a Lagan. I wish we could call it a Lycan instead. And then Ash Anna. I think it's like a white tiger cub. So that better be majestic. So last week I also mentioned the World Quest where it's, I think I called it what it was named, Battle of the Broken Isles. And I guess once you complete it, you get a pocket pet portal. And
That's not what I thought you were going to say, just so we're clear.
I was rereading it a few times. I'm like, don't screw this up. The pocket pet portal will increase your pet's your pet journal to 1500s.
Am I the only immature one here? Is that it? Am I? Okay.
100% you and Lycan. David and I are the classy guys. So right now the cap is 1,000. Once you complete this quest, you'll get the item, the Pocket Pet Portal, and your journal will be increased to 1,500. So that's new stuff for Legion, and it's that time of year. Belle mentioned it. The orphans are being mistreated. The good news is you can add specific pets to your collection. Of course, they've been in the game for a long time, so a lot of it is not new news. I'm just going to quickly read off the pet names. Mr. Wiggles, the cute pig. Speedy the turtle, who is fast. Speed version. Whiskers the rat. Scooter the snail, he's my buddy. Those were the original 4 from Azeroth, and then you've got the the Outland ones. Egbert, Peanut, the elephant, Willy, the one-eyed floaty thing.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. Focus. And then legs.
Purpose.
And then there's no, I didn't. I just realized how ridiculous that sounded. And then you've got 2 pets from Northrend, the Curious Wolvar pup and the Curious Oracle. Of course, these pets aren't new. It is a chance to buy and sell some companion pets. Of course, if your auction house gets flooded or there's some extra in there, you could possibly buy them at a cheap price, or just sell the one that you earn. Legs is worth the most, to be honest. The 2 ones from Northrend cannot be unlearned in cage, but the first 8 I mentioned, you can trade it with your friends or sell them, do whatever you want. You can only unlock 1 pet per character per Children's Week, so if you want those other ones, just do the quest chain on your alts. So, yeah, that's about it. There's not a lot of crazy news. The new pets that were launched or announced for Legion, I don't even think I'm at 1,000 total companion pets collected, or like in my journal, so the 1,500 isn't a big deal, but of course there's some serious collectors out there. But that's all we have for today.
So will that pocket portal work if my sack is gigantic?
Stop it!
I did there? Some people might know what I did there.
It's a nice achievement.
Oh, man.
It's a nice, expensive achievement.
So much immaturity. Guys, my head is pounding. I just want to make sure I went on the record to let you guys know that I'm literally struggling to sit here and not rip things apart on my desk. But we are professionals. We are going to push right on through. Giggity.
Zing.
I know.
She'll never show. Pregnancy or migraine don't matter.
Let's talk about our weeks in WoW. Like outside of your surgeries and the things that you're doing, I also want to talk about, I watched an article that's not WoW related, but it's lichen related. I watched a thing how they've cured diabetes in lab mice, and they're getting ready to prepare for human clinical trials. So we're still about 2 years out from any kind of actual knowledge on that, but they have actually cured it in mice. I just wanted to let you know in case you weren't aware.
Thanks. Link that to me.
No, I mean,
we have these pre-show conversations and these post-show. No, I'm just joking.
No, I'm totally serious. Like they've cured it in mice.
My name is Wolford Brimley, and I have diabetes. Outside of WoW this week, didn't do much with WoW this week just because of my hand. I am finally getting grip strength back
into. Strong hand.
I know. And here's what's really funny is that I want to show you my exercise. This is my exercise use for the entire week.
Nice.
I'm using my Hearthstone stress ball.
That's awesome.
They're squeezing it to get,
It's very smart. It's a good.
This is my strange hand, so I really need to get it back.
Stranger, huh?
I'm missing some love in there, some self-loving. So this is my strange hand. I did do my mountain runs this week. Nothing.
Strange.
Yeah. You're giving yourself a stranger.
Yeah.
Sit on it too while you're at it.
What's really going to be cool is because after I've been
pocket items and strange hands, I can't deal with this at all.
Well, after my surgery for a while, and I'm not going to be able to use it for a while, it's really going to be enjoyable. I won't even have to sit on my hand, so it's going to be great.
There you go.
These guys know what I'm talking about. Remedies, you know what I'm talking about. Right? So anyway.
Thank God we're rated explicit on iTunes, guys.
I did do my mount runs. Nothing. I am working on as Bloke so beautifully called it Emperor Poopy Pants rep. Working on what is that, Shao Hao, or I finally got the revered.
Shao Hao needs a gal.
Yeah, I want to get I like the mount, so it's another mount that I don't have. That is my next venture I'm working on, is working on some of these mounts that I don't have. I'm upset I'm down below 100,000, so I won't be able to buy the motorcycle.
Oh, no.
I won't be here next Monday. Next Monday's my birthday, and I refuse to do
Happy birthday. You should sing happy birthday.
That's great, because we'll be seeing you next Monday.
I won't be here next Monday.
You're literally not going to be here next Monday?
It's my birthday. I'm not going to come on for my birthday.
Should have gave him benefits.
Funny troll, because I'll see you Monday night.
No, see, and this is also why I want to do DK Hall on my birthday. I had scheduled.
Fine, if you be on the dang show, I'll do the freaking DK Hall. Okay,
I get the host though because it is my birthday.
Negative, you're not hosting.
Yeah, I can.
What about
you might as well get your Teamsters Union together because you're not hosting the show. I will let you do the DK, and I'll do a lovely video of the DK haul for you because
Jim's my
I'm a giver,
lawyer.
guys.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Jim, take care of it.
We have to wait and gather resources before we have the official.
That's not a problem. That's not
On your weekend WoW, I know it's still your
What
weekend
a
WoW.
dick.
You mentioned to make sure you're doing all the stuff, achievements, and content. Don't let your PvP pet battle game slip. Like in, I have to tell you this as a friend. Bloke has been training. I don't think he's out to like get you, but like I think he likes the idea of you two pet battling. So just be aware he's been training. Don't.
That's
fall
something we
behind.
ought to do too. And I actually was thinking about this week pulling me and you together. I'd like to see us maybe even do like a pet battling thing with the community. So something if you guys are interested with it, you know,
Maybe
in
for
doing
your stream when
pet
you're back to
battle,
streaming.
maybe we can do streaming. I'll be streaming tomorrow night. Again, there's no workman's comp, and she doesn't let me have a day off. So tomorrow I will be back to streaming.
Can't
I
build
will
a
be sitting
legend
there.
taking days off, guys.
I know. I'll be popping Vicodin, sitting there with tears in my eyes as my hands cramp up because I can't play WoW. But I'll be there because she'll threaten to burn down my house.
So
But the
tomorrow night-
Vicodin will make you'll be happy. It'll take you to your happy place. Just don't overdose, man.
The one time when Belle approaching, she's like, "I've got pictures of your children to liken," and like I knew how serious she was, so we can't miss anything.
No, not at all.
Like, do you not live at 142?
Sesame
I
Lane.
can't say his
Right
address.
after
I'm not going to. Yeah.
Anyway, and yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of much in game outside of a little bit of Mount Run and the Garrison updates. That and she hates me when I say stuff like this, but Diablo's been actually with the new season. I've been actually playing a lot of time. At least it's a Blizzard game.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
It's a Blizzard game.
Nobody cares.
Monk
do.
in a mystic build.
I care.
Fucking mystic allies, having 10 of them run
Awesome.
up with
Moving
you.
on, since this is a WoW podcast. Jim, what did you do this week in WoW?
The usual, a little pet battling, a little Garrison stuff, a little PvP. We had a giveaway on the YouTube channel, not PWNCAST, which all of you should come visit. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. A lot of new content being pumped out, besides our epic podcast, of course. But I gave away some game time and some companion pets to celebrate a power leveling guide I made. So we drew the winners the other night, and it was good that one of the people from EU won the game time because I can't give the pets to EU players. I always explain that for the giveaway, but it's good that I can gift game time worldwide. Someone from EU won, and then I was talking business with the person who won the companion pets because he's a big collector, so I wanted to help him out with and give him the right pets for his collection. So I did a lot of that, some more content for the Warcraft Pet Battles YouTube channel, and just a lot of the regular Pet Battle madness that I do in game. So that was my week in WoW.
So you gave away game time, but you didn't buy a desk. Do I understand those facts as I've reported them?
100%.
I'm gonna
Yes.
need you guys to hashtag Jim get a fucking desk. If you guys can make that
Whoa.
happen, take to the Twitters, guys. It's time we assault the
He's-
situation.
Give the man a break. He's
I'd rather
suffering
you-
for his art.
That's right. And I'd rather
Yep.
you save those hashtags to represent, the private servers and the not flying, like those real concerns that you guys have for the game.
And
So.
hashtag Lycan for host 2016.
You should
Yeah.
know that at BlizzCon you're gonna be rolling hardcore in the paint with us folks,
Oh.
and I do bring weapons of mass destruction.
Well, yeah, we're not going to leave our weapons at home because we're leaving.
No, I'm saying I don't have to fly, so it could easily be driven in a vehicle. Just kidding.
fair enough.
I can't fly, so I have to hop on a 78-person mount and fly to California.
Stupid.
Wow.
What? I literally can't.
was
I
good.
need assistance. Yeah.
That actually hurt the head a little bit. Sauce, what did you do this week? I know we're not raiding, so what? Are you just hanging about in your garrison? Are you?
Garrison stuff. Make about, I don't know, 5K a day in gold.
Dancing, mailbox, Stormwind. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Fellatio gives blowies on
In the
Moonguard.
back of the blacksmithing hut in Goldshire.
He was
50
RPing the
silver.
hell out of that, too. He was getting
50
into it.
silver a pop.
I was like, oh, baby, because I was watching. You guys know I'm a little bit of a voyeur, so I do like to
she was
watch.
pimping me out.
Yeah, he was getting into it. I was very
I
proud.
was.
Very
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah, and just that. Leveling a Holy Paladin right now. I'm trying to learn that as a healer class.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Working on my monk transmog, and that's a pain in the ass as usual.
What are you
'cause
trying to do for that?
for the transmog? The
Yeah.
tier 15 from Heart of Fear LFR.
Oh.
Yeah, I have everything but the gloves, and that's like 6 weeks already. So whatever, just how it works. So when I do my mount farming, I just set out for one. I'm just Ulduar, trying to get Mirrodin's head. Since I got invincible, like I completed dumb luck, and everyone hates me because it took like 3 tries. And yeah, so yeah, Mirrodin's head is a pain. I have a buddy that just got it, and he's dumb. So yeah,
guys, we have to change how we think about World of Warcraft. Let's celebrate our friends and family for getting these epic mounts, okay?
No, we don't celebrate. We hate, right? I'm not about your success when it comes to mounts.
So, I mean, I've only been doing it for like...
There's a WoW mathematical equation where these mounts are given out percentage-wise. It's not just a 1% drop rate, a 3%. Based on your attitude, karma, and all these things, it affects the percentage. So if you want to increase that 1% to a 2.5% for that run, you guys got to pick it up.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I
know all 3 of you have a headache. I have a feeling it's me, but...
Nah.
I gotta say, Mrs. Lycan had just got home from work, and she had looked at me going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
She probably isn't surprised or shocked in the least.
She can't wait till you get done that show and meet the new Lycan. You know what I'm saying?
I'll show her the Crown Prince's buddy.
Kroll the Warrior King? Come on, that was funny. This week, I didn't do a whole lot in regular World of Warcraft. I did some guild stuff, do my normal guild things, try to log in and show my face. My guild group, they already know that I've been doing alpha stuff. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the YouTube channel, but I've literally launched a full-on assault as far as our content, right? Talked a little bit about it last week, how, every week we come on here, we tell you guys things, we do all these things. It's time to kind of put that action, put the words that we're saying into action, right? It's one thing to come on the show and we talk about it once a week. It's an entirely different thing to start putting our money where our mouths are and start doing guides and walkthroughs and do all the things that we talk about. So I've literally assaulted, so much so that I had to disable the tweet notifications because I was literally assaulting our Twitter, not meaning to every time I uploaded a video. I have the shamans done for the preview, the spell and talent preview. I have the warlock. I have
mage, druid.
I have the mage. I have the druids. All the specs, and I'm uploading the priest ones this evening, and then I'll continue. I'm hoping to have those knocked out the next few days. After that, I'll then be doing the artifacts for each spec. I'm going to do a healthy walkthrough, give you guys kind of the gist of the beginning aspects of it. With Legion, it's a little difficult because it's still an alpha, right, guys? A lot of stuff can change. Yep. So I'm doing my best to really take advantage of the fact that I have this information and am doing that. So that's what I literally was in alpha so much that I had to post in the guild Facebook group like, hi guys, I promise I'm here. You're just going to have to stalk me on Facebook or through Battle.net because I'm heavy putting in the work. So that's been my thing. It's good because it's nice to be able to give people, so many people do these videos. You have the pro streamers that are doing this stuff. You have everybody doing videos. It's nice to have just another version and a little bit of our perspective. So hope you guys have been watching that and you guys have been enjoying it, but maybe that's the cause of my headaches. IDK. I ate my weight in chocolate while Lycan was doing his while he was doing his lore because there's no camera. I was literally trying to eat a ton of chocolate hoping the chocolate would mellow down the headache. But all it did was just make me hungry. So
and I was killing ants, so
you did have an ant infestation.
It was awesome.
I was being me.
Yeah,
I was paying attention. I was just eating a lot of chocolate kisses.
Sauce too.
I was watching it.
Ewok because this is his fault. I have all this because he sent this to me in the mail. He just wants to see me have a big butt. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I did just work. We're prepping for the next Hungry Games and we have a bunch of guild events coming up for my officers that are putting it together. So lots of good stuff going on in game. Nice ways to keep active. I'll be doing for Bell's Bites next week. I'm going to do a pretty good breakdown on how to remain active if you are currently subbing to help with boredom. So we'll be going through that next week, giving you some tips, ideas, tricks, and things that you can get yourself into while we're waiting for the expansion to drop. That's pretty much what I did this week. Stuff and junk.
Yeah.
Success.
Exactly.
I mean, something for sure. That's pretty much what we have for you guys today. I guess it was we time managed really, really well. I want to talk a little bit, since we have some time now at the end of the show, I want to talk a little bit about the PWNCAST party. So Blizzard graciously did approve us throwing the party at the Hilton. A lot of people were like, why did Blizzard have to approve it? Anything that's done at the Hilton the week of BlizzCon, Blizzard has to approve. So did put in the application, did hear word back from our contact at the Hilton that it was approved. We have reserved a 500 square foot, I don't know what you call it, ballroom, suite, room, party house, whatever you want to call it. It is going to be powered by PWNCAST, the 2016 DitchCon party. A lot of people also are like, well, what is DitchCon? Are you ditching BlizzCon? What does this mean? Well, Negative. Friends, if you've ever been to a large gathering with friends, specifically a con, what happens is you have 10 people in your group. You turn around, you have no people in your group because so-and-so's floated here, so-and-so's at the taco truck bell, so-and-so's over here at the Dark Moon Fair. Like, literally your friends scatter. It's the nature of BlizzCon because there's so much going on. It's unintended. Friends don't mean to do it. It happens.
It just happens, yeah.
So in celebration of that, we want to provide to the BlizzCon goers a place where you won't be ditched. We'll be there, guys, where nobody's going to ditch you in this room. We're going to have a cash bar. We're going to have DJ. We're going to have lighting. Songhammer just confirmed their attendance. It's going to be pretty legit. It's going to be Wednesday night. So if you're already planning for BlizzCon, it would be great if you could plan to come in Wednesday morning so you can come hang out. Admission will be free. We'll be posting a little Kickstarter thing if you guys want to get behind the fundage of the party. We're going to be giving away a lot of stuff courtesy of Tahazu Designs, who's going to be making all the nerd swag for the Kickstarter tiers, as well as some other things that we're going to be including. But that is going to be super important for us because we want to just hang. That's what we wanted to do last year. We just wanted to hang out with people. We don't want to go and do all these fancy things. We just want to be with people. We want to drink. It's slated to have tacos make an appearance, so hopefully that works itself out. Just got to work out some of the logistics, but make sure that you reserve Wednesday night to come party and come hang out. It's going to have all the elements you need. A dance floor. Let's twerk a little bit. Let's do the
I don't know if I'll be twerking. Even if you don't drink,
well, yeah,
you can
you
still
don't
come
have
to
to
the
drink,
party.
for sure.
Yes.
You heard her. I'm allowed to twerk.
It's fine.
Like
we'll record it.
You and Belle can do whatever you want. Maybe a twerk off.
We are going to have, in true to form, so you guys don't know, some of you may know our friend Christian, a.k.a. Grains, in the channel. So we hosted Blizzard dinner. We helped host. And we had a Michael Jackson-a-thon, right? We had a who could do the best moonwalk, and Christian did win. I was so excited over this moonwalk that I gave away his prize to somebody else because I was literally just like, I was so up in arms. Like he
won a lot of stuff.
But he did such a good job, guys.
He did,
His moonwalk was so freaking impressive. It was like the spirit of Michael was with us that night. So I'm a huge MJ fan. So to see that, we're definitely going to be having some dance-offs at this situation, this little shindig that we're going to be throwing. So I dislocated your knee twerking in 2013.
At least that's a good story.
I twerked last year. We were at the Hilton, and it was Friday night, and they have a DJ out, and you're mingling, and there was some drinks. I got really, really low, right?
How
the problem
low?
with my age and it being really, really low is I couldn't get back up. So luckily there was some very nice gentlemen that were in the center doing some dancing, and they were kind enough to help lift me up because I was stuck very low.
I would have left you there.
In a butterfly position. You know how like the old school butterfly, like when you were in high school you did the butterfly? It was kind of like that. It was really
cotton candy, sweet as gold.
Yoga pants. They'll help out.
Which I heard Lycan was rocking the Alliance leggings.
Leggings aren't pants, guys.
Yeah, they are.
They're not.
I mean, technically they go in the pants category.
They're form.
Some could argue that debate and win.
Would you rather have me walking around in leggings or no pants at all?
They're both equally
I like the second
displeasing
one.
to
Gotta pick one or the other.
Visual cortex.
Lycan in leggings with a nice clean white t-shirt like he's got on and that wig. Get the party started.
Yeah, no.
With some Reebok classics.
It's a bad time.
Ditch fun party.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the
DitchCon's
party.
happening. More to come as we're rolling out the plans, guys. More to come. So hopefully we'll have this week's stuff ironed out, and we'll be able to start promoting that and get that underway. So we're super excited. Even if you're not going to BlizzCon and you're in the area of the Anaheim Convention Center and the Hilton, and you just want to attend the party, you totally don't have to be going to BlizzCon. You could still come and do the cha-cha and eat tacos and drink burr and or whiskey, whatever your get down is. We don't judge you for what you like to drink or not drink. Or if you just want to go, you don't want to drink, you got shrooms, whatever. We don't sanction any drug use at the party, but what you do is what you do, and that's not our business.
As long as you share, I won't say a word.
It's so weird. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you guys go check out the PwnCastDailyQuest.com. All your news is going to be covered there. I am slowly trying to roll out the other games. I need to buckle down.
Sorry, this is a Warcraft
I
pod.
know.
We don't talk about other games.
Yeah, can you
I
keep
didn't
it
start
to
talking about tier gear and all that other weird stuff because you were out of... Stay in your own lane, like in your own lane.
It's set gear. Well, I got to get practice for hosting next week.
The PwnCast.net site is in the middle of a revamp. We are making that a thing so that you can do all your cast stuff there as well. So that's in the works. We are going to go ahead and end the show, honestly, guys, because I can't handle this headache anymore, and I'm literally really, really close to violence in my office. I got to overdose right now on something because I can't deal with you, Lycan.
I was just going to say that here. Everyone salute King Lycan, the real MVP of this episode.
Thank you.
How much are you sweating in that wig?
Not that bad. It's real human hair.
What the fuck does that even mean? That it's real human hair? You
It
sweat
breathes.
less
Look.
because it
Look,
breathes?
you can't even see the weave part. It's actually
you really can't.
That's unbelievable.
It's a wonderful wig.
Is that a tumbleweed?
Now you know why I
or
took
is
it off
that
my
your-
grandmother before we put her in the ground.
God.
Stop.
bad.
It's so bad.
We're all going to hell, guys. And why do
Did
they
you
say hell in the
Febreze it?
handbasket? Do you need a handbasket in hell? Can somebody answer that question before we leave? If you are listening and or watching, or you're watching this later on the YouTubes, if you could tell me what hell in a handbasket means, that would be great.
Urban
Can
Dictionary.
you answer me one question? Why when a viewer says you're pretty, you say they call you beautiful? That was last week. Like, oh, she called me beautiful.
'Cause
She
I
said
am
you look
beautiful.
pretty today. Absolutely. And we care.
I'm beautiful. Look at
Why do
this.
you got to call me out just because nobody said
It was so
anything?
funny. I rewatched the episodes and it was just like, oh, she called me beautiful. It was like,
Pretty,
you're looking real
beautiful.
pretty today. Lycan's the beautiful one for this episode. You had last week, Mel. Next week it's David.
Who is Dead MK and what are you... I don't know what this is.
I don't either.
All right, everyone flex for the outro.
Yeah, that's really weird. So we're going to go ahead and get on... No, you did not. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on iTunes or Google Play, make sure you give us 5 stars on iTunes. Make sure you give us a like for the video. We get literally 1,000 views per video and we get like 20 likes. Can we get some fruits of the labor? You're already there looking at the channel. You might as well just click that button. Make sure you comment. We do love all of your comments, guys. And as always, make sure you keep it classy, San Diego.
I
My
love San
head
Diego.
hurts, guys. We're going to get out of here. Take it easy.
Bye.
You guys did great.
No.
So if I wear this wig,
No, seriously, are you sweating?
No.
No,
If I
it's-
wear it on the stream, can I show my cleavage like they do, like the rest of the chicks do?
I mean, I'm not a...
Just get a V-neck.
I'll shave my chest.
Let's not get banned from Twitch here, okay? Keep your
So
stuff
you're
in
going to
here.
shave your chest?
Yeah, Twitch viewers.
Okay, you can show
Just
it.
trim it.
Maybe some girls like the hair.
And suffering for my art, just like Jim did.
Suffering. That motherfucker.